Setting goals is easy, but actually achieving your goals, now that's incredibly difficult. Setting goals isn't just thinking about it, writing it down, and then hoping it happens. It's all about the small incremental things you do every single day in order to achieve that goal. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how you can take your business or personal goals and turn them into a reality. One of the best ways to set and track goals is to use, well, a goal tracker. So my favorite way to do this is using the platform called Notion. In Notion, I've created a generalized list of all my business and personal goals for the year. And I try and get an idea of what I want to accomplish this year, this quarter, this month, whatever it might be, but this is just sort of like my brain dump space. There's no real system at this point in the process. I just want to see where my brain takes me and what I actually want to accomplish moving forward. Anytime I have anything I want to improve on, whether it's a big financial goal, such as hitting 10K before 2023, I jot it down right here just so I can have an idea of how I want to fit these goals into my schedule later on. A lot of my goals right now revolve around my business and more monetary goals that I want to achieve. Although next year, when I start planning out, those goals are probably going to be more tailored towards self-development, health, and fitness, because that is where I've been lacking a little bit this year. So if you've ever tried to set goals before, you might have seen this template around. It's called the Wheel of Life, and it basically breaks down where you are in your life right now, and bases it off of these different sections. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different sections. And I will drop a link in the video description below if you want to take the assessment to see where you are in your wheel of life. But when I filled it out, for instance, as I said before, a lot of my top levels were career and work, money and finances, growth and learning, but I was really lacking. I was more in like the 2 through 5 area on friends and family, mental health, spirituality, health and fitness. So doing the Wheel of Life will give you a gauge of where you are right now, and it'll help you when you want to start planning out your future goals, whether that's for the year or for next month. But definitely fill this out. Like I said, I will leave a link in the description of this YouTube video. So this is the website for the Wheel of Life assessment. And what's really cool is as you go through the assessment, it will give you an idea of where you are on the wheel right now. So it'll show you what areas you're struggling with, what areas you're excelling in. And I do want to preface that this wheel will never be at all 10 or 100% balance. It's gonna look like a weird web in a sort, but doing this sort of assessment will give you an idea of what you need to improve on, so you feel most satisfied with your life. Because like when I was doing it, I didn't really realize that my friends and family were so low after I answered some of the questions. But looking back on it, I'm like, wow, yeah, that was definitely an area in this season of my life that I wasn't really focused on, that I want to focus on moving forward. So once I've gone through all of this, the Wheel of Life, and just kind of getting a generalized overview of where I'm at, I start to pick out and choose my major goals that I want to hone in on for the next quarter. So here is my Q4 goals and objectives for the end of 2022. And basically, I do this for every quarter now. I go into another Notion page outline just like this, and I break down all of my yearly goals into quarterly goals. And I try and break it down into my top 3 things that I want for my business, and top 3 things that I want to achieve in my personal life. So I'm just going to show you the business side. The business one, or the personal one, is under my desktop over here, which is all of my personal stuff. But we're not going to focus on that. We're just going to focus on the business stuff. So once I have the top 3 goals for each, I break down each of the goals into actionable steps that I know I need to take to get there. And some goals might only have 5 steps, whereas others might have a few dozen. And that's why it's so important to plan out your quarterly goals and your monthly goals separately, because each goal has its own system of mini goals that you need to take in order, or that you need to hit in order before you can achieve your main goal, if that makes any sense. For instance, my 3 goals for quarter 4 were create 2 YouTube videos per week until the start of the new year and post Monday and Thursday if possible. And then my second one was create my 6-week video intensive session. And my last one was to launch my membership program, which is ORK Academy for freelancers and content creators before December 1st. Now, each of these goals has their own unique steps that I need to take before I can achieve them, like I said before. And if you don't lay out each step, it's going to be extremely hard to estimate how long it will actually take you to achieve that goal. Because going back to what I said at the beginning of this video, people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a year. And when you have all of these massive goals, like launching a membership program or creating a 6-week video intensive session, it's not just like, hey guys, I'm doing this thing, come join me on this day. There's a lot of planning that goes into it that you don't realize. So that's why it's super important to have a general idea of what you want to hit in the quarter before you break it down month by month. So once all these steps are laid out, I start to lay out the next 3 months. I set my 3 main objectives for the month, and I start to brainstorm roughly how long I need in the next 12 weeks to reach the next milestone that I have. So like I said, these are the main overarching goals that I want to hit, but in order to hit these goals, I have to create these separate, smaller goals to get there. But even these separate, smaller goals have steps that I need to take within them. A perfect example of this is setting up my YouTube channel. So prior to having this goal, I put out maybe 2 or 3 videos on my YouTube channel. So achieving this goal right here of creating 2 per week is a massive shift for me, but it's not as massive as goal 2 and 3 that I have. Creating systems to help me get out videos takes much less time than creating the intensive program or my membership. So in October, it's mostly back-end work for the membership and the intensive program, because I know that by the time I actually get to the launching point, I'm probably going to be in December with everything else that I have to do in my life. But all of the prep work for the intensive is going to take most of October and most of November. So I can achieve my YouTube goal probably mid-October. Whereas with these other 2, it's going to take me a lot longer to get there. Once you have the goals for the month, you are going to break it down into weekly goals. So what can you reasonably get done in 4 weeks to achieve what you've outlined as goals for the month? So what major milestones are you really trying to hit? For me, week 1, my goal was to outline all of the YouTube videos that would reflect anything that would go into my course or into the intensive and into the membership. That way I could reuse a lot of those scripts for both the YouTube channel and for the membership program. That way I wasn't, doubling up on work. Week 2 was to script and film all of those videos. Week 3 was to write up the email sequence for the course. And then week 4 was to prep for Black Friday sale, because it's going to come up a lot quicker than you think if you're not planning for it. So under each week, I broke it down even further, and I have my top 3 to 4 main objectives that I want to hit. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Olivia, this is way overkill, but it really isn't. You do need to get this specific because, like I said before, so many people overestimate what they can do in a day. You put all of these tasks on your planner, you think you can get so much done, but in reality, you underestimate what you can do in a year. You set all of these high goals on January 1st of like, I want to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year. But if you don't set it up in this sort of fashion where it's like, I need to start dieting first and then taking it slow and finding programs. Like, there's a lot more steps that go into actually achieving your goals than you think. And that's why so many people give up so early, because they're looking at it either way too macro or way too micro. So you need to learn how to balance the two. And most goals don't happen in a few days. It takes weeks, months, and I mean, maybe even years, depending on what your goal is, in order to accomplish that. There's a lot of baby steps that go into planning them. So it's important that you set these milestones and understand all of the mini steps that go into actually achieving them. And the best way to ensure that you're hitting these milestones is to use your time wisely. If you haven't already, make sure to check out this video here, where I break down all of my top time management hacks for small business owners and content creators. Because once you master this on a smaller scale, it's so much easier to look at the entire year and be like, hey, I want to achieve X goal in this month. All I have to do is A, B, C, D, and so on. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.